In the heart of the Arabian Peninsula lies a kingdom that bridges the ancient world with the modern age, Saudi Arabia. Known for its vast deserts, oil-rich landscape, and its profound influence on the Islamic world, Saudi Arabia's journey is one of dramatic transformation. From the rise of Islam to the discovery of oil, the country has not only shaped the region but also left an indelible mark on global history. Today, it stands as a hub of culture, religion, and power. But how did this nation rise to become the powerhouse we know today? Let's journey through time and discover the rich and fascinating history of Saudi Arabia. Long before the establishment of Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula was home to a tapestry of civilizations, empires, and tribes. The region's strategic location at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and Europe made it a vibrant hub for trade, culture, and religion. The bustling trade routes crossing the desert allowed the exchange of ideas, commodities, and cultural practices. Arabia was not a barren wasteland, as many outsiders may have believed, but a land of immense cultural, economic, and historical importance. The Thamudic and Lihyanite civilizations, the ancient civilizations of the Arabian Peninsula, were as rich as the lands themselves. The Thamudic civilization, which flourished in the northwest of the peninsula, left behind remarkable inscriptions and rock art, depicting everyday life, animals, and religious symbols. Archaeological evidence points to the Thamud people's extensive knowledge of irrigation and architecture, building sophisticated rock-cut tombs and temples. The Thamudic language and its accompanying symbols also continue to be a subject of archaeological study, helping to unlock secrets of ancient Arabia. In the southern region of Saudi Arabia, the Lihyanites established a prosperous civilization around Al-Ula, a town that became a crucial stop for caravans traveling between Yemen and the Mediterranean. The region was known for its advanced agricultural techniques and its role in the frankincense trade. This trade would later play a vital role in the establishment of religious and economic networks across the region. The importance of trade routes, the incense route, passing through the Arabian Peninsula, became a significant source of wealth and cultural exchange. Arabia was the bridge between East and West, linking the vast empires of the Mediterranean to the rich, exotic goods of India, Africa, and China. This set the stage for the rise of Islam centuries later, with the key cities of Mecca and Medina becoming prominent trade centers. The rise of Islam, a revolution in belief. The story of Saudi Arabia's birth is inseparable from the history of Islam. In the early 7th century, the small city of Mecca became the birthplace of one of the world's greatest religions. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, born in Mecca around 570 AD, began receiving divine revelations at the age of 40. These messages, believed to be from the angel Gabriel, would form the foundation of the Quran and the religion of Islam. The teachings of Muhammad emphasized justice, equality, and monotheism, which appealed to many people across the Arabian Peninsula. The early struggles and spread of Islam's early years were marked by adversity. Despite initially being met with resistance by the ruling elites of Mecca, the Prophet's followers grew in number. The migration to Medina, known as the Hijra, in 622 AD marked the beginning of the Islamic calendar and the formation of the first Muslim community. In Medina, the Prophet not only led a spiritual movement but also a political one, establishing Islam as both a faith and a way of life for his followers. From this base, Islam spread across the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. Through a series of battles, strategic alliances, and preaching, Muhammad's followers were able to bring the majority of Arabia under the banner of Islam. By the time of the Prophet's passing in 632 AD, Islam had spread to the surrounding regions, including Syria, Iraq, and Egypt. The Kaaba, located in Mecca, became the spiritual center for Muslims worldwide, and the Hijaz region, where Mecca and Medina are located, would forever be a focal point of Islamic pilgrimage, or Hajj. The annual Hajj pilgrimage continues to bring millions of Muslims to Saudi Arabia each year, cementing the kingdom's religious significance. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, unification under King Abdulaziz. Fast forward to the early 20th century. The Arabian Peninsula was still a land of divided tribes and regions, each with its own customs and allegiances. This fragmented region was ruled by various families, including the Hashemites in Mecca and the Rashidis in Ha'il, among others. Amidst this division, a new leader emerged who would forever change the destiny of the region. The unification process. King Abdulaziz ibn Saud, born in 1880, spent much of his early life in exile. His family had been forced to flee from Riyadh in the late 19th century, but in 1902, Ibn Saud led a daring campaign to reclaim his ancestral capital. His military and political strategy was unlike anything the region had seen before. He not only used force but also forged strategic alliances with local tribes, forming a coalition that would unify the vast and often fragmented desert regions. Through a series of campaigns, Ibn Saud was able to bring Najd, Hijaz, and other regions under his control. His unification efforts culminated in the establishment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 1932, momentous achievement that would lay the foundation for the modern state. The legacy of Ibn Saud, King Abdulaziz's leadership did not just unify the land but also symbolized the melding of Islamic principles with tribal loyalty and modern governance. His rule was based on a deep respect for Islamic traditions, yet he was not averse to using modern technologies and ideas to enhance his kingdom's strength. The kingdom, however, was not just a political entity. Ibn Saud was keenly aware of the religious significance of his rule. As the custodian of the two holiest cities in Islam, Mecca and Medina, his leadership was deeply intertwined with religious duties, making him both a political and spiritual figure in the eyes of Muslims worldwide. The discovery of oil, a new age for Saudi Arabia. The discovery of oil in Saudi Arabia in 1938 forever transformed the nation. The Dammam oil field, located in the eastern province, revealed vast reserves of petroleum beneath the desert sands, and soon, Saudi Arabia was on its way to becoming one of the world's leading oil producers. The influx of wealth that followed would enable the kingdom to embark on large-scale development projects and modernize its infrastructure in record time. The birth of Saudi Aramco. Saudi Arabia's relationship with oil began with the establishment of Saudi Aramco, Arabian American Oil Company, in 1933. The company, initially a joint venture with American oil companies, would go on to become one of the most profitable entities in the world. In 1944, oil production began in earnest, and by the 1950s, Saudi Arabia was emerging as a global oil giant. The immense wealth generated by oil allowed Saudi Arabia to build world-class infrastructure, including airports, roads, hospitals, and universities. The kingdom also invested heavily in its military, ensuring its dominance in the region. Global impact of Saudi oil. By the mid-20th century, Saudi Arabia had solidified its place as one of the leading oil producers and exporters in the world. As oil prices fluctuated, the kingdom played a key role in shaping global energy markets. Saudi Arabia's oil reserves became a crucial source of power and influence on the global stage. This economic might gave the kingdom leverage in global politics and allowed it to influence international oil prices through organizations like the OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Saudi Arabia today, a modern kingdom with ancient roots. Fast forward to the present day, Saudi Arabia is a powerful force in both the Middle East and the global stage. Under the leadership of King Salman and his son, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, Saudi Arabia has embarked on bold reforms through the Vision 2030 initiative. The Vision 2030 reforms. Vision 2030 is a comprehensive plan to reduce the kingdom's dependence on oil by diversifying its economy. It includes ambitious projects in tourism, entertainment, technology, and renewable energy. The NEOM City Project, which aims to create a high-tech, eco-friendly metropolis in the northwest of the country, is one of the most ambitious projects to date. The kingdom is also focusing on building its tourism industry, with historical sites like Al-Ula and Diriyah being developed into international tourist destinations. In addition to economic reforms, the kingdom has made significant strides in social reforms, particularly in the areas of women's rights and education. Women in Saudi Arabia can now drive, work in various sectors, and participate more freely in public life. Saudi women are also making significant strides in academia, business, and government positions. These reforms have sparked debates about cultural preservation, but they have also given Saudi society the momentum to move forward. A kingdom bridging the past and the future. Saudi Arabia's history is rich, complex, and intertwined with the rise of Islam, the discovery of oil, and modern-day transformation. From its ancient civilizations to its pivotal role in the Islamic world, Saudi Arabia has shaped the history of the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. Today, it stands at a crossroads, seeking to balance its deeply rooted traditions with its ambitions for modernization. Whether through economic diversification, social reforms, or its influence on the global stage, Saudi Arabia is carving out its future while never forgetting its deep past. The kingdom's story is one of resilience, faith, and vision. From the golden sands of the desert to the modern skylines of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia remains a land of great contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern innovation, and where history continues to shape the future.